Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, hello, I'm Digital Casts, and of course, next to me is Potato Fries. You've seen us in the past do Lenovo Legion, but regardless, we're here today, and it is Meta HSE Valorant Week 7, sponsored by Torrens University of Australia and Optus.
It is going to be an exciting week indeed. Of course, we've got ourselves 3 matches all lined up, and this map rotation for this week is none other than Split. So very fast-packed action from there. And up the very first one here, we've got ourselves, I think you read down there, which is De La Salle College up against Alexandria Park Community School. So Alexandria Park on the attacker side, De La Salle onto the defender's side. And we're just, of course, waiting for a few little technical stuff here for everyone to join in, and we'll be underway momentarily.
Oh, well, it does actually seem one of the players briefly, they crashed. So while we wait for them to rejoin. So tell me, I wasn't here actually last week, Potato. Which map was it, and how did the games go, if you remember?
So, last week's one, as you know, usually on Thursday nights and stuff, I just have to cut off a little bit early. We try to rotate to get everyone on fairly. So I did the very first match, and that one there, that map rotation was none other than Bind. It looked like a pretty interesting match overall. What happened was one of the players didn't quite get notified, or unfortunately didn't have something happened. So there was a 4v5 early on there. And I was curious to see it happen play out, because I reckon they could have won the 4v5 possibly. However, the ruling states that you have to have 5 players either side, so ultimately the match wasn't played out in the long run. We got the first 5 rounds, and then it just sort of happened from there. So Bayern got to see the first one. I believe ZK had the other ones from the other results, but they were as expected. And of course, looks like we got ourselves onto this game now, with De La Salle on the defense and Alexandria Park onto the second time's come. Apparently.
Yep. The same player, his game crashed twice now, so let's hopefully third time lucky, he'll be alright. But look, sometimes it happens, guys, so do stick with us. So you were saying last week, unfortunately, you only were on for the first game, and it was a 4v5, but eventually wasn't played out.
Yes, that is correct. So we got through, I believe, the first, 6 rounds or so. Right. Which is pretty much favoring, as you expect, the 5-man advantage, so 4-2. And then towards the end of it, we realized that the ruling stated that, hey, you have to have 5 players either side, and you had to get going from there. But it was a lot of players we sort of recognized from usual Rise of Legion stuff, and as well as going on through that Lenovo one as well. So I was really curious to see those names try and pop up from there. And I've also seen other ones as well with the Immortal Sweats going through. So I don't know how well they've been grinding from the high school leagues, but it's definitely a different competition. And I was expecting from those ones to have them already competing there.
Well, enough about talking about last week, because I remember it as well. We do have a current leaderboard, the placings of the Meta HSE Valorant, and right now in the first 3 spots, it will be let's see, Prairie Wood High School, De La Salle College, Revesby Heights, this very team competing right now, and Bosley Park High School. All 3 of these going with 5 wins. Currently, they are all tied for the top 3 spots. And then the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next 5 will be tied at 4 wins. And one of them will be Alexandria Park Community School. So we have essentially the 2nd place team versus the 8th place team, but it's only a 1-win difference between them. So I can't really say what I would expect coming out from this game tonight, this first one. But predictions-wise, what do you think?
Oh, look, I mean, De La Salle seem to have a very good composition overall on paper. I've seen one of those games played weeks prior, and they were definitely sharp on those rungs there. Up against 8th seed, and as I said, it's pretty early days in overall leagues. What appears to be you have 3 different matches set each week, and you try to get a round robin out of it. So you'd expect overall matches played to be 5 to 7 per team, and to see how you get from those ones there. And that close of a margin, all your bottom seeds all have 3 score. That's 2 points behind top seeds. So it really is just kind of early stages from that when they're trying to see how well we go. But I'm thinking the underdogs might be taking it here from that 8th seed. De La Salle obviously quite strong on paper, but Alexandria Park have had a fair bit of experience as well. Look at a fair few wins. So
yeah, it's true, because looking at the lineup right now for Alexandria Park, granted, a lot of them are sort of mysterious names, but there is one player whose name stands out. His name is Ilu. I believe on Twitter his handle is Ilu FPS, and he is actually quite prominent in the OC Valorant community. Well, not super prominent, but he's been around. So I would expect perhaps either a stronger playstyle or better leadership, at least on Alexandria Park, versus for the defense starting off. Del Salle College. We have players like Rias, Gremory, Aquino, and who was it? Isai? I think these three players, right? They performed highly in the past few times I've seen them play in the Meta HSC league.
Yeah, definitely from there. I was trying to get the names up now, and we always know the name for Ilu, and also know I bet a little bit just from those open links and stuff grinding through. So definitely some strong contending names, and not what at all you're expecting from these teams going through here. So I think both are roughly the same ranking wise, but looking at for these ones, I believe the minimum players are platinum and or low diamond up to immortal. So quite high talent overall these scenes. So wait for them to get on in. Looks like we're locked and loaded, and we'll be ready with this very first map tonight. De La Salle on the defense and Alexandria Park on the offense.
All right, let's check out these agent picks. And like he said, De La Salle on defense and Alexandria Park on the attack. Ilu, you know, he's already hovering over that jet, and that's sort of what I expect coming out of him because that's what he's known for, playing the jet. But, you know, Split's one of those maps that it's obviously defense-sided, so I really want to see a lot of utility-heavy compositions on both sides.
Yeah, so this one's interesting. Like, how are we locking in the Viper? Now, Viper's a bit of an old meta for Split-wise. You see more modern ones of, like, your Astras and your Breaches really just trying to run through, your Sages as well. Jets are just great, and as you can see here, they're trying to adapt a more modern one approach for that one. So, I don't know, Viper can definitely have big impact, you know, over towards the B site, walling it off, but hasn't really been used as a whole, and currently they're really lacking flashes, and I think they realized it just then. So I guess we'll go up to the Phoenix, but both compositions look quite strong in their own accord, and both teams looking like they're going to be playing for that first half advantage, really. Defense with the Sage walls and the Viper walls, smokes from Jet to fill, and of course the Raze bomb buddies to clear the angles, Killjoy ults, the Sky flashes, and the Astra smokes. So both teams trying to get the first half advantage and see what happens into the second.
Yeah, but one thing I'm sort of impressed by is actually Alexandria Park, their composition, because obviously you have your Jet, that's fair. Killjoy, a Sentinel, I think, on Split is pretty essential. But then again, also, you have Sky and Astra, two very powerful agents in the current meta at the very least, before they get nerfed, hopefully. And Astra, just her gravity wells, it's so crucial for these choke points paired with Dark's Raze paint shells utility. And Canal, don't get me started on the Sky flashes. 3 guiding lights they can throw out to either get intel or to guide your teammates onto a site, plus an AoE heal, plus like a Sova owl drone essentially. Man, I really like what Alexandria Park is bringing out.
Well, it looks like pretty classical comps overall. Let us know in the chat who you think's going to be winning this one tonight. Will it be De La Salle on the defense starting off, or Alexandria on that offense? We begin round 1 here, and looks to be a bit of a B split here. Just trying to fan out where they can go, seeing who's playing into the waters. But it's a really good setup here, and a good gamble stat towards B. The Chico peek from Rice is going to easily spot them out here, and they know they're going to rotate straight towards B. You see Jet absolutely gunning it because they cannot risk trying to lose this site in this fight, especially with Omen in such a close corner. And they're scared. One smoke and they back off the aggression. All right, well, I guess they're going back towards mid and trying to see if they can't wrap through either ropes or market and then get that mid control and fight from the site there.
I think it's actually an alright default because they saw the defensive Viper roll over towards A, and the Sage will now mid as popped. So they got intel that no one's pushing on both sides. There you go, Guardian Light to get Alexandria Park into heaven at the very least. But then the Astra utility clears the corner. Labs is holding the angle. Sponsor the Guardian Light. Chooses his chance to engage, but no, once again, it's a fake over towards B. A is their side of choice. Ilu has to fall back, but Howie's already dropped onto the side. Oh, sorry, it's the other way around as Ilu gets taken down by himself on the side. But regardless, Alexandria Park, they seem to have made decent progress onto the A site, though. Howie still lurking around. Dodges the Guardian Light. It was a fake by Canal, though. Great play. Bait and switch takes him down, but the attackers, they've bled one player down now, and the spike's been planted. 4v3 in the retake.
Oh, it's slow and steady trying to hold on for these teams. The paranoia towards elbow side. Gonna catch them off there as Ami is just stalling as hard as they might. But the lag seems to be paying a big factor. Still catches out of Kano, but can't get the trade. Issei with 2, and Kano alone, stuck in a 1v3. Finds the first. Gonna be finding the second here. Unfortunately, there's no timing left as Issei gets the defuse. 3Ks either side, and 1-0 for De La Salle.
Yeah, unfortunately, it really did come down to that brutal fist fight essentially on site, and Canal just slightly ran out of ammo there, a second too slow. But hey, it was a good attempt to say the very least. But now, like you said earlier, 1-0 on the board for the defenders, and look at their buy. It's going to be full armor, Spectres plus a Judge on Issei.
Definitely good buys indeed, and the full eco on the other side. They can't risk anything after that one. They did get the plant. They could have maybe gone for the force, but ultimately the anti-eco and the full eco combined the third.
Oh my god, it's just a bloodbath down mid.
Absolute mayhem at mid on top of the wall.
One enemy
now
remaining.
now one. Done. Round is done just like that. Flawless hold from them, and they go 2-0.
Yep. Well, that round, you blink and you miss it. Oh, was that a flawless round, actually? Let's just check.
Yeah,
I think it was a flawless
they had
round.
the two
Oh
picks
my
on top of
god.
the wall from Labs and Rice, just
Yep.
absolutely stomping, and then
Spread him down.
the other flanks of B, so...
Good job by the defenders. And, I don't think I got to mention my prediction, actually, for this game. I still think that De La Salle Heights, they'll take down Alexandria Park. Already off to a good start, I have to say. They're just showing better aggression and I would say perhaps better team play to the extent. But though, regardless, it's a proper buy now from Alexandria. And Aquino once again strikes first.
Yeah, it's interesting either side. Like, it's not like it's, one side either heavily. Definitely can change big factors. It's just that tiny little margin. I don't really agree with the Viper wall, but if they play it well, then it can have big impact overall. And currently, they're still winning these early rounds, so it's going to help build the momentum, build a bit of economy, and keep the rounds piling on. Currently now, Alexandria are going to go for this A play, but they're really relying on these early entries here. Illu could be the one to make it happen. Right, so
They have the Astra Stars. They have the Astra Stars in position. Illu, good dodge on the flash though, but 2v1, he has to fall back. His teammates are bleeding. 1-for-1 trade. Illu, people is left, lands the headshot, a double for himself, and now Alexandria Park, you've bled 2 rifles now. Now so 2-on-2. This is getting really expensive, and De La Salle College, they're making this round really expensive for Alexandria. Although Sight still has been taken dark. He has to check the corner. Oh no, Howie, trigger discipline. They both walk past him, Howie, easy peasy. The double spray down, and that's just punishing.
Oh, that is brutal indeed. How do you not clear that corner? You have to. You absolutely have to clear that back corner.
He was looking there, I swear to God.
Want to be sitting there. It's not common, but it is just a corner there that is sitting there. Because you clear that corner, you have the 45 angle, and then usually at that point, people at elbow will try and pre-fire, and you go, oh, well, they missed that shot, and I could try and trade, but not clearing that one, that is just unfortunate. So now they're going to be on the 3-0, stuck on another eco here for Alexandra, and one sheriff in hand from Kano, and a whole bunch of light armor. Actually, a lot of sheriffs in hand, excuse me. So could be trying to wrap the inner Cowboys, seeing if they can't find some quick picks, and looks like they are definitely making that one work, but Labs says no, catches out Illu, and now 4v5.
Yep. They do have a few ultimates actually for the attackers, but once again, having the inferior guns, there's no way they should win this round. That was a great shot though, but Labs had the bigger rifle.
The old sheriff would have got it. The old sheriff would have gotten that pick, and not to be had. Trying to find the lineup that say is absolutely stomping. Farming gets a trade. Might even opt to try and save that Vandal, but it's going to be hard to hold on to. It's already pinched in place. Look at this. 2 on towards site, 3 on site, and the lurker, Rice, trying to kill him in. Reads it, but the swing is there. 4-0 now. De La Salle win those early rounds.
Yeah, they do. I also want to mention that, De La Salle, obviously, they are my prediction, at least, to win this best of 1. But also, Howie's Viper Wall over towards A, I actually really like what it does. Because not only does it block off most of main, but at the same time, that really tight angle just outside of A main, it's really hard for the attackers to sort of push through without a solid flash. Because there could be a person behind there with a point-blank judge or something, and it's just quite punishing. But granted, we aren't seeing De La Salle play that aggressive, because they don't really have to. They have the gun advantage, they have the econ advantage, but now ultimates are starting to stack up on both sides. A default to come out this round from Alexandria Park.
Oh my god, De La Salle have been pushing that wall every single round, and it is just paying off. I don't know how they're not being punished for it. Like, you see the wall, you break that block, and then Sage can't jump on top of it. They have to, jump over a gap, and then they're caught exposed. So, very interesting, but still managed to get a bit of damage, but the healing from Sky easily patches it up. And yeah, the Viper is always great. You do need the flash to support it, but that's why they have the Phoenix close call, stuck at elbow, ready for the angle, ready to swing as soon as they see any contact. The wraparound from Killjoy, however, could catch Viper off guard if they aren't... Like, if they're stuck on that one angle, they're definitely caught off here. Because that's really just a bit of a risk, trying to hold that one passive angle for sight, waiting for Phoenix.
Oh no, it's a lot of angles for iPad to really clear. Howie obviously had the angle, gets the headshot, but now look at this. They've taken the B site, at least Heaven, but there's already players rotating over. 3 on site. Finally, the Seekers Heaven pops. It will tell you that Issei's on site, but he doesn't even need to get affected by the Seekers. Still lands the shot, dodges under the plant box, and no, one at a time. Alexandria the falling. Issei point blank executes Ilu, and Alexandria Park a very commanding 5-0 start. I mean, sorry, Salle. Gosh.
That's all good. And yeah, they are just absolutely stomping through here. Overall, first 4 rounds were a big impact from the score, but it helps bring up the aim factor and the momentum, and it is so favoring De La Salle at the moment now. They got another buy, which is definitely lucky. Ilu with the knives, and can probably buy an ult next round or round after. 3 ults might help them, but they haven't even used a single ult here for De La Salle. They've just been banking on it. No. And they have fortunately had to use those jellyfish in the hands of Sky last time. So, love to see what they can do and see if they can't try and read this wall. Or
look over towards A. Because over towards A with the Viper, that's exactly what I was saying. Finally, they went aggressive and managed to catch that Jet Ilu off guard. But regardless, though, over to B, that's where the action is happening. Issei hiding there, but he's missing his shots. He does get 1 kill, but he's out of ammo. Has to land this final one. Point blank, the paranoia. It's ineffective. And as iBet gets that kill, finally, this is the best round for Alexandria just thus far. Aquino doesn't check underneath, gets taken out. The solo pushes. Canal, 1-on-1, wins against Rias, but Labs brings Howie back into a fray. 2v3. I mean, look, it's doable, but there's the Killjoy lockdown on site to buy more time.
Easily there. And look at this, the post positioning from Dark. They're not going to read this one. They're going to have to try and swing. But they might read the close openings if they hide behind the corner and peek when they need to. That's going to be done from those. There's so many angles to clear here for Howie and Labs.
LSL, they are attempting this because they have the economy advantage. Might as well go for it. After a good start, but now it's on Howie 1-on-2. Spike is ticking away. Dark runs right in there. Howie, I think he can actually get all these kills. The timing, he does get all these headshots. At least he denies them of any guns, but at the same time, he will go down to the Spike. Finally, 1 on the board for Alexandria Park.
It is a small ray of sunshine, and early on here, Split is really hard to treat winning offense rounds, and they're still making it work early on, so it'll help bring them with some economy and some momentum. But Howie, I don't even know if, like, you know, that was really worth it for the economy overall. So yeah, you get those kills, you stop them from upgrading on that aspect, but you lose your own armor and as a whole. So he's down a little bit. They still have a fair bit of money from De La Salle due to the 5 rounds in a row. And it looks like they might have just toppled that one a tiny bit. So maybe it was a big payout from those ones, or otherwise trying to save the gun in hand to keep the economy banking. But for now,
that's a sharp shot.
Fantastic shots. Completely opens up the B site, and Labs is waiting for the swing through, but the flash and the smoke is there. Gonna cut off the angle so they can wait for the plant. But Killjoy is stuck back mid with the spike, and Ilu is trying to get some kills here, seeing who's playing where.
He's just lurking around under the wall there. Spots out the shoulder, but he's missing the shots. Rias, he's back up now. Aquino's joined in, and so is the Sage. Ilu has a tall task ahead of him. 1 bullet left, and he will go down. 1-for-1 trade. Defenders, however, are bleeding as Dark manages to get a second with the Guardian. So now numbers equalize. Spike not yet planted. I bet he's waiting for Howie to perhaps peek. Finally, he will commit, but his teammate has to protect him. Jet's already up top. Easy headshot for Aquino. Now, Barmy, 1v2. Has a shot to play with. Missing all the shots. Aquino dashes right on. Zero fear. Ends him. 5-1. And Potato, they're still really not investing their ultimates. Look at how confident De La Salle are.
Oh, they are absolutely insane here. They're pushing on top of their own wall at mid and still somehow trading those kills. They are just running rampant on B. They're almost instantly retaking as soon as they go through, and they're like over-rotating because they can read where they're going. There's not really much split factor going through here for Alexandria. You know, not really much mid-lurk. Like, they did have Ilu go through that last bit there, but couldn't only really get one. They had to wait for the spike, and the spike back of A solo is also... must have been miscommunication there. You can't be leaving the spike solo. You have to stick with the group wherever they are going. But 6-1, they have a full buy now. They were on the eco last round, so they might have a bit of hope this time for Alexandria. But De La Salle are playing every single angle and holding onto their ultimates as well. And they might be relying on the Killjoy ult here just to try and get out, or possibly the showstopper.
He's undetected as well. The Sage Slow Orb, basically it prevents the attackers from pushing on, and the Boombot clears nothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say undetected. Obviously it was a bit of a missed angle there, but I think they saw that smoke go from the left side. I think they could clear backside. They could be worried about the drop down, but
you can't actually see that smoke when it gets thrown out, though. You can't actually see it. For the attackers on the other side, it just pops out of nowhere. There is no like a
direction of the last, but that's okay. But regardless, Killjoy lockdown. Towards site.
Easy one, easy dub, and his job is done here. He's done the numbers. He's given his team the advantage. But Aquino, oh my god, what are you doing, man? Walks right into the Killjoy lockdown, and this is a little bit painful. But hey, look, numbers are still even. They have ultimates to play with, and there's really not much in terms of post-plant like ultimates for Alexandria Park. Now the Cosmic Divide has expired. The Jellyfish come out. It doesn't really get anything. And even the Wolf, it gets destroyed. Guardian Light from Canal. Perfect blind. He gets a lot of them, but not winning these trades because it's Illy to get a triple, and Canal chimes in as well. Alexandria Park, they double their rounds.
It is another bit of hope for the Alexandria Park fans. Slow and steady from that one. That looked chaotic across the board. ESA with 2, I thought it was going to be done and dusted, and then somehow they managed to make those ones work. Ilu with that flank went absolutely huge through mid and found the perfect timing in the lurk. And otherwise, on the other side of Adela Sol, getting detained there, I don't know what they were thinking. They were just trying to stall. Like, the site's gone at that point when they've got the smokes out and the divider as well from Astra, and, you know, they're just still trying to fight site. It's not going to be working out.
One thing I've noticed is that it's really interesting how... Sorry, I'll talk about the strategy a little bit later, because as you can see, Alexandria starting to work onto the A site and the paint shell onto Howie. He's on 34 now. He's running to a Sage for a heal, and overall, they have intel somewhat that the players of Alexandria are starting to progress onto the site. Now, while we have a short moment, I'll talk about what I said earlier, because Alexandria Park, they're not really playing defaults, they aren't working early round picks, they're going for straight side executes. And granted, it's starting to work a little bit now, but earlier on, for Salle, they managed to pick off those early round kills. As you can see, 2 players, they double peek mid, and this round, 3 went down mid. Ilu, thankfully, he wasn't caught off guard, but he is aware that Issa is TP behind him. Here's us down, gets the headshot. Alexandria Park, this is the best round yet. 4-on-4 post-plant.
Oh, 4v4. They got all the angles here. Ilu can peek when they please.
Oh, he's blinded. He doesn't know he's right next to someone. But the running back did expire. Aquino dashes to the side. Zero fear again. This retake from Delasal is flawless. Bomb meat. No way he comes out of this alive. And now it's going to be a 7-2 scoreline. Delasal lead.
Delasal have won this first half at least 7-2, and it could be even more scarce and actually more rounds for favoring them, as Alexandria just trying to scrape up a few there. That was very counter towards a post plant there. I don't know what their plan was overall. It was a good positioning from Ilu, dips back towards cover, but the flashes, they just flashed their teammates and they didn't know what was happening. They're all stuck on site for the post plant. They had the entirety of screens, the entirety of heaven in their possession, and they choose everyone on site. So I don't know about that one. You have like a fair few, mind you, but you can have a lurker towards screen, get a quick pick, lurker towards heaven, play off each other, and then your upper man advantage. But instead of that one, they chose to just condense towards the site, and ultimately they ended up flashing themselves. So 7-2, and Aquino with the knives. The same thing with Ilu as well, trying to wreak havoc.
Oh, Aquino, the knives, he's already so low. He had to go for the clean headshot. He does miss though, but it's Ilu who strikes back. Clean double, dashes right down mid. Notices a one behind the box, but can't land the shot. Howie strikes back, and now it's all even Stevens. No one has the lead. Howie, great dodge and guiding light as well. They know exactly where the raise is dark. He came from A. He's known, but after the ropes, gets the clean headshot, 1-on-1. Bear in mind, here's a showstopper. Dark pops it, point blank. That's all he needs. He needs Howie around the corner, has to land a headshot. It's a 1-on-1 trade, but Howie got the kill first.
Oh, dear me, this is so chaotic. Oh, my word. Alexandria, I don't know what the plan is. Ilu went huge, and same thing with Dark, but they're just not working together on those ones. Howie should not have walked away with those extra 2 trades. And on top of that one, it was just completely tagging them down from Kano, stuck back at that quick take there. Kano probably shouldn't have peeked off that flash and just held onto the angle. Really made them go wide to get that pick, so that Dark could have more time to go through the ropes. But, you know, trying to play with each other. Unfortunately, it comes down to the showstopper, and you probably could have played the close angle there or shot their feet. So
Howie has this.
Oh, running through their own, almost on the timing. but Howie's now locked down the A site, and they're stuck back mid for Alexandria, trying to pick up the pieces.
Once again, you know, Alexandria, they are sort of going individually solo. Ilu, great shot onto Rias, dodges the paranoia as well. Clean double, and now B Heaven is slightly opened up. But bear in mind, Howie is solo over towards A. He's inside his Viper's Pit ultimate. Isa has to go huge here. The Guardian Light goes past them, clean for one, and then misses the second kill. Canal gets the trade back. One player each side, and they have to go huge now for the last two players of De La Salle.
Yeah, they also had to get the spike back spawn side, so it's a bit of time gone, but hopefully the other players can clear the site, and they do. They spot out Sage.
Oh my god.
Flashed each other, and Labs a full blind kill. Cleans up on the I-bet. Can't get the trade though. And Barmeat will get the man advantage for Alexandria. This looks promising, but Howie's on the hunt, ready to try and clutch this 1v2 up. Plant down, retake is on.
There's a lot of angles he has to clear, though, and look, they're playing together, but at the same time, Howie can spray both of them down. Good poison orb! He has to be checking the angle! Looks the wrong way briefly, but fear not, he hasn't been seen just yet. They know he's on the site. This Tasmanian Tiger comes through, and Howie, he's stunned, but they aren't peeking them, because they have to spike down. The pressure is now on Howie. 12 bullets? He can't set this halfway thing, but he's gonna get pinched real soon. He's gonna go huge here. Howie, he can't win this surely. Gets one, looks the other way, but pulls out the defuser. Canal gets the kill. Alexandria Park, they are hanging on.
Last round
that looks
in the
scarily close for making that one back for Howie. Props to them, but unfortunately the 1v2, it's really only going to be going one way. Even if one of the players is low, can play off each other, can easily bait with enough util and know where they are when the pressure's on for Howie. So couldn't quite clutch it up, but still 8-3, the last round before the switch. Alexandria really need this round. 9-3 could be too far gone. They do have some good defense lineup, like, you know, Raze is great for locking down, Killjoy as well. Same thing with Jet, but Astra and, of course, Sky are really trying to be playing the retake game and stalling with counterplays like flashes and smokes. And Akano catching I-bet, opening through the wall, dry peeking, no one there. And Dark does the same thing, but gets the pick. And look at this, the ult out on A. They are confident they're going to be winning this side.
Howie, he's by himself now. He hasn't been detected just yet, and the boombot, it gets nothing. Howie chooses time to strike, but too many targets to shoot, and it's Canal who rips his head clean right off. Alexandria Park, man advantage, they are on site, and 2 onside screens. Issei has to go huge here. Oh my god, they don't even realize he's worked right behind them. Double headshot, and now Alexandria Park, they are trying to strike back, all down to Canal. 1-on-2, the resurrection is available now. Labs brings Rias back, and Canal, the spike's down, but he has to defend with all his being, and Labs finally finishes the job. 9-3 scoreline. Now, Potato, they are on the defense side, so finally, sides have switched, but I would say that a lot of the work has been cut out for them. De La Salle, that is.
Oh, definitely with De La Salle. They had an absolutely phenomenal first half there. And unfortunately, like, the only rounds they didn't win were the ones they had to try and clutch up, like a 1v3 or a 1v2, and that's not really going to be going one way. But 9-3, and they have a pretty strong comp overall to be taking sites there. Like, the 2 flash from Phoenix, the Viper Walls is going to cut off, like, an entire, like, area of view. And so, Alexandria, if they can't lock down a site, B should be okay. The mid will be a little bit stalling with Raze. And A looks like it's pretty confident with smokes there. They can be relying mainly on the retakes and trying to play that game. They can't lock those down. So it's really come down to this pistol, the 10-3 margin, the 11-3. That could be too far gone to bring this one back for Alexandria. If they win this pistol, it could look promising for them and open up another small ray of sunshine. Keep it going along, but enough chit-chat for those ones. It looks like they're going to go for a mid-take here of De La Salle and trying to wrap on through towards B.
Fuck, he has to go huge here. Spot does a battle for us. At least the paint shells can buy some more time. The jet dash is on through. Damage is done, but it's not enough. Damage is okay, but it's alright because Labs can self-heal, and so can the Phoenix. So already player down for De La Salle. I mean, De La Salle on the attack? Alexandria, sorry, yeah. On the defense. So they have to strike back, but look at this. De La Salle, they cut noise, and they're falling back off of mid, despite having so much control. They have it over towards A.
Screens, so they've called A is free. Ilu is there at ropes, but has to get the right timing here. Has to.
Oh, I don't think it... He may have a slight suspicion.
Might get the right timing. They might clear heaven here because they think it's free. They said, oh, A side's free, I've cleared screens, let's go for it. And there we go. Phoenix a little bit wide. Will be caught off. And now it's a 4v4. The pressure's on, but will they read this aggressive play? Will they read that someone is close in screens? I don't know. Harry might find one here.
Probably not. He's already aimed down sights. Misses the shots, though. They got a little bit dicey there. Confirms the kill. Needs a second. Gets a double. And 1 by 1, defenders have fallen. All down to Illu. The Star Jet I was talking about. Even just jumps into the paranoia. Yeah, things aren't looking too good. Gets snake bited off of one angle. He's stuck in this corner now. He has to go fight Issei, and this should be his doom at this point. Issei had the clear advantage. Gets picked out of the air, though. Great shot by Illu. 1-on-2. Yeah, misses that final shot. Labs confirms double digits now for De La Salle.
That was a close shot and another close clutch from Illu. Looked promising, but unfortunately the time just wasn't quite there. It seems like Illu and Dark are really sweating hard here. And same with Kano as well, but Barnme and iBet are just not having a good game this time around. They really need to be stepping up to help the team out because the rest of the margins from De La Salle, obviously Howie, Issei, and Akano are absolutely stomping, but you know, Rice is only 8 to 9. That is -1 difference versus 1 and 13 and 4 and 13, and they're just not winning these early duels that they need to be.
Which is sort of interesting, I would say, but then again, the thing for the players of De La Salle, any of them can step up. Usually it's Rias, but you know, if he has a quiet day, Aquino, Issei. Up from the defenders. They need this round. Wimbot clears nothing. Oh, it's so easy. Aquino gets that kill. Dashes into heaven. Illu misses the shot to Marshall. Double, 1 by 1. Same story. Defenders, 2 on 5.
Yeah. You should have known Jet was pushing on that close corner. You saw them swing into it, and you chose the Bombay towards mid. Now, fortunately, dipping into the wall, that was a little bit of a fumble as well. 2v5, stuck with a half buy. They're either of them, and they're playing off each other. They've already flanked around, and it's another flawless round for De La Salle. And they go 11 to 3, the tipping point. And look at that, no money left for Alexandria. They went for that half buy off the back of the pistol. Oh no. So now they got no money left into the full buy. And they got Bulldogs, some heavy armored Sheriffs. It's not looking good for them. They'd have to have a miracle to win this round.
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a desperation buy at this point. Whenever I see the Bulldog come through, that's not a good sign because it's already 11 on the board now for De La Salle, and it's just one more match point. So the thing is right now, if they lose this defensive round, it's basically guaranteed. Rias already starts off huge. Illu's gone now. The carry, I bet he has to run for his life, man, and just can't get out in time. Granted, he did pop the Anano Swarm. Akira burns a little bit, but he has a Sage behind to heal him up. Dark gets one for himself. All fall back for the time being. Numbers equalize 3 on 3, but the spike should go down to B.
The Martyrdom actually helped Dark get that pick, so there is a small opportunity here for them. And this is actually pretty good post-play positioning. Dark has completely cut them off of B main. The CT push here from Barmeek could be key, but Howie and Akano are absolutely stomping. And Kano is now stuck back towards Heaven side. They heard the drop down at ropes, and look at this. The flank round from Akano could be stalling enough, but they're probably going to try and take the fight. And they spot them out. One towards CT. Where is the last player? I think they'll read this one. And it looks like Kano doesn't even need to play the gamble game. 12 to 3 now. De La Salle on match point.
Yep, and the economy right now for Alexandria Park. Okay, you know what? It's not fully broke, but you could definitely do better. They like 2 players right now. There may be 3 hero rifles, and hero rifle and Canal, no armor. Bear in mind, Sky can't heal herself, so this is literally a do or die. 12 to 3, and all I can say is this map has been a complete shutout for De La Salle. And you know, part of the reason I have to say it has to be Viper, which I'll talk about a little bit more in depth towards the end of the game. But now looks to be a strong B-side take, and Stark once again. Great start though, takes down Labs to prevent the push from going too soon. Showstoppers pops, this could be huge. Spots out Reese in the corner, boom, explodes him. Now 2-man advantage for Alexandria Park. They have not looked better. The boom by out at the wrong time. Aquino punishes him for it, and no utility to get much more intel off of that.
Oh, 2's company, Dark. 3's a crowd. Going for extra ones there. I don't know about that one. Like, I suppose there is a bit of weight on their shoulders for Illu and Dark to try and go huge for these. But get the 2 picks. You're now at, you know, an extra man advantage. And you also got the Sage, so no res is available. No heals available, so you can sit pretty on those ones. But for now, it looks like De La Salle gone for the right play. They've lost the B info. They've lost the B control. They're just going to try for A and see what happens. Where, of course, Sky, aka Kano, locked and loaded. Could get this quick pick, or could get caught out from the numbers advantage.
Kano, I think he has the angle, spots out one, and smartly backs off. You don't want to engage after missing that first shot. Ilu, he does strike now, dashes on the blades. Time's wearing thin, 30 seconds, pulls out the rifle, gets a sharp shot to Issei. Howie, 1-on-2, 1-on-3, I take it back. Canal finally strikes. And would you look at that, Alexandria Park, 3 players standing, 3 rifles, and they're hanging on.
That is a miracle and a half. Ilu went huge again. And I'm so surprised. Ilu, like, never right clicks with the knives, even at that distance. Like, I would at that point just go, you know what, let's see if we can't get the damage, and he just tries to get the headshots going through. But that run and gun with the Vandal, that was another insanely accurate aim there. So well done for them for locking down that A site.
I'm pretty sure it was a strafe shot, but still, like, at that distance though, Ilu, he's proven to be a very sharp player, so I think he rather prefers to go for the headshots instead of the RNG right clicks. But now Alexandria Park, 4 players stack, De La Salle, 4 players stack over towards A, and the run back has been popped. Guarding light though, I think it blinded him. No, it didn't. In the discipline corner, Ilu strikes. He has to pull back, but his players are falling on site. It gets retribution for his teammate. So the lockdown's angles though, clean headshot again. He's single-handedly holding the ground. 4v2, and now Alexandria Park, they are starting to mount a small comeback. They're starting to lock out De La Salle for the A site.
Oh, that was huge from Ilu, absolutely locking it down, and now is on 20 kills. Tied, of course, with Howie from the Viper side. I don't know how they're going to make this one back at all. 2v4, well, maybe 2v3 they catch out Ilu, but it seems like with little HP, he finds even sharper shots to hit and makes it more scary for them.
Adrenaline, I would think. Well. Issei, yeah, gets spotted out. But know what the last 2 players are now. Issei sort of has to be the man with the pants here and go for the first engagement. Good paranoia, blinds all 3 of them. Issei gets 1. He misses the second though. He runs out of ammo, I think. All down to Rias, no heal, low HP. And dear remain, still a match point, but Alexandria Park, they have a lot of ground to make up for.
They do indeed. 7 rounds in a row to force overtime, to force possibly the best of 2 win. It's going to be a hard and grueling task to make that one happen. But, you know, piece by piece they can, but it's going to be insane aim and insane clutches. So far, the economy is favoring them. It looks like De La Salle are going to go for the half-buy, 2k average, and just see if they can't try and stomp it out the next round. Well, they have 4 ults readily available, so that could be their plan overall. For now, just going to go for the B play, see if they can't get lucky, and see if they can't try and get a plant down for extra money into the next round. And possibly take some guns away. If they win it, then that would be insane for them. But Alexander should have this one down pat. Pulls it down, and they're going to keep going through.
You know, I gotta say, they're not really playing for his runner back because it's a 6-point ultimate. Regardless, though, off of an eco, they're aggressing onto the side. Aquino gets a second kill now, 1 by 1. This is starting to look like the match round here. 5 players standing. Viper Spit has been popped. Blades are out. Finally, the ultimate from Canal has to get some intel, but it's just not going through the wall, I think. It usually goes over. Interesting engagement. Look, the leading players. And now the defense is 2 players left. The blades are missed. Dark has to go huge. He keeps missing. Time is running thin. All on Dark. 1v5. They rush him. Triple kill for Aquino. And that's it. Done and dusted. De La Salle, well done. Really commanding win.
Insane win from them. Alexandria, man, they just let those duels crumble. They should have been 2 quick picks on there on the Phoenix and from the Jet playing off of them, and that just did not happen. And of course, GG's to De La Salle, clutching up 13-5, and they were just dominant throughout the whole series. You can see the scoreboard favoring all of them there. Even Rice on the bottom there, 9 and 12 overall versus iPad 3 and 16, Barmy 4 and 17. The timeline, it speaks for itself. You know, 5 rounds in a row, 1 break, another break, and then another 2, finishing the first half 9-3, and then winning the pistol. And then it was just only a matter of time before they ticked it through. So GG's to both sides.
Yeah, now, you know what? Before we talk about the MVP of the game, I just want to say that De La Salle College, as a whole, I think, their defense was just that much better. Now, it all comes down to the Viper. I think single-handedly, Howie, who has an MVP, by the way, we can show him now, like, he made all the difference as Viper. on the defense, that Viper Wall, I love it so much. It's just the extra like bit of mind games, when he puts it off on that slant angle, the attackers, when they push on, you not only have to clear ramps, you have to also to clear close right and close left. And granted, Howie, with his team, they didn't initially push aggressively. They did it one round, a double stack, close range, and it worked out. They picked off, who was it, Ilu, I think. And it just caused, what do you call it, Alexandria to basically avoid A a little bit more, and they favored more towards mid and B, in which they just got picked off, and that's how the story goes. But then again, Howie now, on the attack as Viper, puts his Viper Wall down over towards the A side again. He pops it, and it's just that much more information and misinformation. It keeps defenders stacked over towards A. They don't know, are players coming towards A? Are players lurking towards A? Howie, indeed, he lurked over to screens that one round, a huge flank to come through on the pistol, and he did so much damage. But then again, it pays off, because for De La Salle, Howie has a Viper Wall, sure, but Issei at the same time, as an Omen, that's your secondary source of smokes. In fact, Issei is the main smokes, Howie is just a lurking distraction. Overall, great teamwork, well done, De La Salle. I like it.
Yeah, it was insane stuff from them, and they definitely had the aim factors, definitely win those duels, and were playing and reading them accordingly, pushing mid every single round on top of their own wall, getting those early picks and not really being punished from it. It was just insane stuff from that one. Nothing in the Viper Wall is you also have to flash behind it. You're either waiting out the wall timing or you're flashing through it and clearing 2 angles to try and get that quick swing. But GG's, De La Salle played insane teamwork there. Alexandria just have to try and work on it a little bit longer. It was a good composition from Alexandria, I will say, but it just didn't have those early rounds they were hoping for in the first half. And they just eventually, it took them so long to get their rhythm going to make those ones happen. So,
yeah, it just comes down to teamwork and I would say utility usage to an extent. Rias as well. Usually he's the one putting up the numbers as Phoenix on split for De La Salle. This time, though, he was a little bit quiet. And I think when we saw his runner back being pops maybe 2 or 3 times, definitely not as much as one would have liked. But then again, the rest of your team is there to back you up. So yeah, nice team, and I like it. This is why they are amongst the top few teams right now in the entire league. Well, guys, that's our first game done. So we will be going for a short breather before we return for game 2, which will be, let's see this.
Glen Waverley Secondary College up against Hoppers Crossing Secondary College.
Thank you very much. So guys, don't go away just yet. This is Meta HSC Valorant, sponsored by Optus and Torrens University.